all I'm going to say is, Gary Oldman deserves the Oscar nomination. That's it. There is no competition. He deserves it. That's it. What's up guys, Tommy Bowyer here, and welcome to Movie Rewind, where today I will be reviewing The Darkest Hour. A World War II drama starring Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill, and it was directed by Joe Wright. And in this film we find out how Winston Churchill came up to become Prime Minister. And we see all the conflicts between members of his own party as well as the government, and how he nearly came under threat from having to resign from office. This film beautifully captures the World War II drama which occurred in England in 1940, and really does show what a true amazing person Winston Churchill was, and why he was the greatest war leader our country has ever seen. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Before we get into any of the in-depth stuff, I would just like to say that this is a spoiler-free review, so don't worry, no spoilers here. If you haven't gone to see it, and I'm wondering why you haven't gone to see it yet, then don't worry, watch this review and maybe it will inspire you to go and see it. So don't worry, spoiler-free all the way. So, The Darkest Hour. Now, before I went to see this film, I had heard brilliant things about it, especially Gary Oldman's Oscar nomination. And when I went to see it, I was thinking, before I saw it, it might not be that great, because the Oscars are not usually anymore the best way to measure talent, because social justice is crippling in it. So when I went in to see this, I saw it in the eyes of, right, I'm going to see if Gary Oldman's performance lives up to the expectations. And in all fairness, I was blown away by his performance. It's one of those performances where if you didn't know Gary Oldman was in it, then you wouldn't know he was playing Winston Churchill. You can tell his heart was in this role, right down to the speech impairment in which Winston Churchill actually suffered. He just nails the performance. He is so elegant in it, and he's so professional in it, but he also captures a quite sensitive side to Churchill which the public never really saw. Of course there are his standout moments in which he really does look, there's Churchill, there's that leader, but it really does show the personal struggle which he goes to, which was really good to see. And I cannot thank Oldman enough for giving us this performance, because he was brilliant in it. The direction of this movie and the pacing is also extremely good. You might recall when I did the Greatest Showman review, I said that the pacing was all over the place. But I cannot fault this film on pacing. It is just such a fluid storyline. And it only takes place within a couple of days. It's about, it's about his first couple of days in office. So it's only a couple of days. But it is so well paced. This movie flew by because I was interested in every scene, and that's what makes a good movie. If you are invested in every scene, if time flies by, then it usually is a good film. If you're just sitting there like, can I go yet? It's usually not a good film, but I didn't get that with The Darkest Hour. It was such a well-paced, well-edited and well-directed film, and I have to thank Joe Wright for that, because he's the one that directed this film, he's the one that had the vision for this film, and he really did do an excellent job, so well done. As for cinematography, this film totally captures wartime London, because, I don't know, there's just something about it. That's why I love historical movies, because if they get it right, they can really make you feel like you're there. And Darkest Hour does that superbly. It's really well in depth. You really get the feeling that this country is at war, and it kind of makes you relate to Churchill more, because you are seeing exactly what it is doing to the lives of ordinary people. It shows the attitudes of the normal British people, and it also shows the attitudes of the government, which, kind of a spoiler, but they're kind of conflict. They don't exactly mould together. So I think that's another thing. It beautifully captures the 1940s in London, and just like, well, the cabinet meetings in the House of Commons, I thought was excellent. It's like they filmed it in our one today, which of course they didn't, but it really was like, wow, they really did a good job on that. So that's another thing which is excellent about this film. The cinematography is brilliant. Once again, Joe Wright, you excelled. So it's come to the negative bits. Now, usually for a lot of movies I have reviewed on my channel, there are quite a few negative things. But in this movie, there aren't really any negatives as far as I can see. It's beautifully paced, it's beautifully directed, and as for Gary Oldman, once again, he excels in this role. He needs to win that Oscar. I've never seen an actor put so much dedication into a role, other than Heath Ledger, who played the Joker. Of course, I'm going to say that because I'm a fanboy. But I don't have any negatives. There are really no negatives. This is just a perfect film. I can't stress that enough. It's just a perfect film. And it also, in a kind of realistic point, and kind of going off track here, it shows how stupid politicians are now. Churchill had to deal with his government having a vote of no confidence in him as soon as he was elected as Conservative Party leader and Prime Minister. And they actually had rational debates in the House of Commons about how to run the country. Now, politics is just stupid. And I think it's very true. And I've heard a lot of people say this, and it's true. Having seen this film, I can safely say that Winston Churchill was the last great Prime Minister of this country. Since then, we haven't had one which has been this brilliant and this inspiring. So in conclusion, The Darkest Hour is a masterpiece. It excelled all my expectations, and Gary Oldman's performance is Oscar worthy. The cinematography was brilliant, the writing was top notch, the pacing was on point, and the direction by Joe Wright was just superb. And I hope to see more films directed by him in the future. So, The Darkest Hour, I am going to give a 10 out of 10. So, thanks for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe in order to receive great and maybe even better quality content if I can get a new camera and the lighting sorted in the future. So thanks for watching, guys. You know what, I couldn't do it without you. Please stay tuned. I'm hopefully going to start my Should It Be Cancelled series very soon. I've just got to get the time to do it. So I will see you guys in another one. See ya.